For now, the last news story to talk about real quick is from CD Projekt Red. It's about The Witcher 4. They are sticking to their ambitious plan to release speaking of trilogies, all 3 games in the new Ciri-fronted Witcher trilogy within a 6-year period. Speaking during a recent financial call, CD Projekt Red joint CEO Mikhail Nowakowski said that future Witcher video games, quote, should be delivered in a shorter period of time, end quote. That's because they've switched to Unreal Engine 5 for the full production of not only The Witcher 4, but also 5 and 6. Here's his quote in full. He says, "We've been using UE5 for The Witcher 4 for almost 4 years now, and we're very happy with what we've achieved. I think you could have seen some of that with your own eyes with our tech demo revealed at Unreal Fest a couple months ago, and we're very happy with the results of that as well. We've already said that, but I'm always happy to say it again, and we're happy with how the engine is evolving through the Epic team's efforts, and how we are learning how to make it work within a huge open world game as The Witcher 4 is meant to be. In a way, yes, I do believe that further games should be delivered in a shorter period of time. As we had stated before, our plan is still to launch the whole trilogy within a 6-year period. So yes, that would mean we would have to plan on a shorter development time between The Witcher 4 and The Witcher 5, between The Witcher 5 and The Witcher 6, and so on." Are you buying any of that? Any of what he is saying there, Michael?
I'm of two minds with this. Where, man, good on you. If you can pull it off, if that team can pull off, because there are factors that would lead me to believe that they mean that in earnest. Where using UE5, they have a kind of a unified technology to build around. And because if you think about the Witcher 1, 2, and 3 were just different generations, completely different technology. So if they have this vision for a new Witcher trilogy to be built on the same foundation in a shorter period of time, that could work. And depending on the scale of each game, maybe they're not thinking of this as we have to build a completely new world for each game, but we can build off of what we do with 4, expand on that, and then expand on that for 6. So it really depends on what they're thinking of scale, because I kind of have no idea.
I mean, he literally said in the quote, that The Witcher 4 is meant to be a huge open world game.
Yeah. Witcher 4, but how they build off of that for 5 and 6 is kind of like the big question mark. Like, will you use a chunk of the same world and remix it there? Are you going to build a completely new map? Like those are questions that I would ask them. But again, it's CD Projekt Red, so they don't have a very good track history of keeping up with these sorts of timetables, right? So, I mean, you point to Cyberpunk 2077 and just the hellish production cycle for that, but also the number of delays. I don't think I have ever seen a game delayed as frequently as Cyberpunk has been. I mean, like they're giving Rockstar a run for their money with that, but again, that was them using proprietary technology. The Red engine was a new thing for them, I believe. I don't think they used it for Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I can't remember, but that was on a scale that was, and they're trying to do things that just weren't done before. And I imagine they're trying to do that to some extent for The Witcher 4, but Cyberpunk was just like a completely different beast. And hopefully they learned a lot of hard lessons from Cyberpunk. And like, again, something that would give me hope is what they did with Phantom Liberty, which one of the few 10 out of 10s I gave when I reviewed it, is that it felt like CD Projekt Red had like really matured, not just in their storytelling, but how they think of their worlds and how they build their worlds, and them wielding the best parts of their games and just focusing on that and having a really tight experience. So that gives me a little bit more hope than the original release of Cyberpunk 2077. But again, we'll see when The Witcher 4 comes out, man. This is one of those games, like, if I were to rank games that are like that are so hyped that it's like kind of unbelievable, GTA 6 Elder Scrolls just below it, and I would
Yep.
say Witcher 4 is somewhere below those, but it's definitely a third in that space.
Yeah, that's a pretty unassailable top three
Yeah.
on that list. Yeah, for me, when I heard this quote and him sort of doubling down again, like you said, I applaud the optimism and the desire to not have these things take 5, 6, 7 years apiece. But to paraphrase the great Ralph Wiggum, when if you ask me, are 3 Witcher games going to release within a 6-year period of each other? I would say that's impossible. Like, no, it's there's just no way. There's no way. Even if they're reusing the same game map, the same, the mostly the same overworld, which they probably wouldn't do. I mean, you weren't suggesting that specifically. You were saying maybe, parts of it here and there, but yeah, there's just no way. I mean, not in the mid 2020s. I don't care how efficient of a tool Unreal 5 is to build a Witcher scale game. There's no way. If Witcher, let's just say Witcher 4 comes out in 2028. Just pulling that out of thin air. Who knows? We're not getting The Witcher 5 3 years later, and then we're not getting The Witcher 6 3 years after that. There's just I'm highly skeptical. I would bet the over in Vegas for sure. Yes. I'd be like, I'm just putting all my money down the over. But hey, if they can come close, like if it could be 8 years for 3 of them,
that's not bad.
That would be pretty darn good, considering, the state of AAA game development, and like we were talking about how long it takes. Mm-hmm. But 6 years seems unrealistic. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. You a big Witcher guy at all? Or
I have a weird relationship with The Witcher, and it'll make the eyes of most of our audience roll in the back of their heads. But
no. My bad.
I have a ton of respect for those games, but I've purposely not really gotten into them. I've put in a few hours I put a few hours into 3, like, maybe 10, something like that. But I specifically was kind of turned off by the fact that they're like very proudly huge, long games, like 100 plus, where I was just like, I know I will never see the end of this. I don't have time. I have a wife, a kid, a full-time job. And it's I will not be able to get through and a million other games that I want to play because of what I do and the fact that I enjoy playing lots of games. So I knew that I'd never see the end of The Witcher 3. So I kind of just didn't allow myself to fully just dive into it, even though I very much enjoyed the bits I played. So I don't know if that'll change for The Witcher 4. I'm still all in on Bethesda's stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, Starfield, I actually rolled off of without finishing the campaign because it just didn't hold me, which is something I'm not sure I've ever said about a Bethesda RPG. But yeah, we'll see with Witcher 4. I mean, there probably will also be a lot of great games coming out at the time whenever Witcher 4 does. But I know you're our RPG guru. You're going to be all in on Witcher 4. Yes,
for sure. Like I said, it feels like whenever this comes around, it's going to feel like an event in the same way a GTA or an Elder Scrolls. And I would say Fallout at this point. If there's a new Fallout, I think that would also break that. That's already broken containment because of the show. But it's in that tier. And whether or not, The Witcher is a very high pedigree. But I mean, like, regardless of where I land on it, I always look at these kinds of projects, these kinds of things, especially in the RPG space, as like, I need to play it for my own like historical knowledge of the genre and how it's evolved and where it is today. Like, I love that aspect of it. And that's kind of also what draws me to these games. Like, I'm going to spend 100 hours in this game because I kind of like doing that, But at the same time, it feels like I'm studying. I'm watching game tape. I'm in the room, I'm leveling up. So it's, but 100
is just like,
Man, let me tell
it's
you
a
about
lot.
a game I reviewed this week.
Yeah, it like I'm all in for great RPGs. Like, I mean, I happily finished things like, KOTOR and all the Mass Effect games, and like, you give me 40 hours, I'll give you.
Yeah,
I'll give you 40.
they're manageable.
When we're looking at like 100 hours, that gets to a point where I'm like, man, I'm probably never going to see the end of this because I have so many other games to play and things to do. But maybe Witcher 4 will pull me in. We'll see. Last thing for this week, because we're already at about an hour here. Just want to go over the Game Pass lineup for December 2025. I'll rip through these, and then Michael, after I'm done, you can let me know which of these jump out at you, any recommendations you want to make to our audience out there. So we've got, look, thanks for checking out this clip from Unlocked, IGN's weekly Xbox show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to watch the full episode at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of Unlocked drop every Thursday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.